Good evening. Residents of Silver Spring communities in Westmoreland are now calling on the Jamaica Public Service Company, JPSCO, to restore electricity to their community, which they say has been without light since last Thursday. The disgruntled residents took to the streets of their community yesterday and mounted several roadblocks with the use of fallen trees, large stones, and old furniture. The residents say that since Thursday of last week, a resident from the community was cutting a tree that fell on the power lines, which resulted in the entire community being left without electricity.
We've been without light from Thursday, and we have one liquor business. Like all my meat and stuff, them spoil, and I call JPS like on several occasions, and every time I call, they give me like different story. Oh, somebody come out in the next 3 hours, somebody come out in the next 5 hours. I mean from Thursday until today and Monday. So like 4 or 5 days. So it's like we fed up. So we decide this morning, so we go block the road. So that we do, we block the road in a hope so then we come give us some assistance. Come put on the light.
You don't pay light bill?
No man, we pay a light bill because right now when we call, they can tell me say, oh, me have one little balance for me, whatever. Yeah, because from you have your number and you have one account, automatically. Because when me call them say Miss Grant, so they know me because me the pay bill.
When I have no current, and my 2 sons then don't go to school, then uniform mash up. So no school for them because we want lights.
So the uniform not iron because...
No.
So that
no
is the reason.
Light, yeah.
So no one JPS for your assistance?
Yes, so want them to come fix the lights.
How many times do you call JPS though?
Tired to call them.
Is there an office in Westmoreland for JPS?
No.
Where's the nearest office for JPS?
Mobile.
Talk to me, young lady.
Mobile.
Them bad, you know, they treat us very like we is not a human being, you know what I mean? They don't treat we good. For we paying bill, you know, and it line breakdown from Thursday. You lucky thing for me, I never have no ready chicken at the moment. Well, so I wouldn't know how I would manage. Kids can't get to go to school, no, parents can't get them clothes, the iron and them little thing there, you know. Them can't just properly go to school. I disappoint with them, my brother. Me, I tell you them.
So you beg them to do better for you?
Yeah, we are beg them to do better for you.
They stated that they have contacted the Jamaica Public Service Company several times since the incident, and all they have received are promises, as to date, no workmen have come to address the grave situation.
And from Thursday until now, I call until everybody kind of choke now. So we say we have to do a thing to see what can be done. So we have to just block the road and see what
so
can be done.
So no want JPS to come and assist me with the light?
Of course it is, that's why we do it.
Tell them you want help, tell them.
Yeah man, we need help man, but if we never need help man, we wouldn't do this. And we need help make we doing this. So we need help right now for everything we have on the fridge spoiled. Everything.
Everything in your fridge spoiled?
Everything from Thursday until now. We have grandpin them going to school and
no uniform,
no uniform, no clothes to wash, nothing at all. And when them cause as a month come in, them just come cut off light and you know care about we know this happen.
So after we call them Thursday and then come and then leave and go. And from that when we call when Kim call, they say next 2 hours, next 3 hours until now. The councillor call, the MP, everybody call until now we don't see nobody come.
So like meat stuff in the fridge, hold up.
Everything spoiled.
Business operators joined in the protest, stating that they have lost thousands of dollars in goods, which they say have spoiled since the electricity went out. In other news tonight, hundreds of disgruntled taxi operators from the parish of Westmoreland staged a major protest yesterday over what they claim to be unreasonable conditions being enforced by the police and the Transport Authority. The operators withdrew their services and registered their disappointment that they are not able to pick up and let off passengers along Great George's Street in the township of Savannah-Lamar, which is part of the public order reset clampdown there.
The problems that we have, firstly, we only have 2 stops before we come into the park. We only can stop by Hospital Gate and we can stop by Royal, if possible. If Mr. Mushet decides to draw his chain, we are locked out and we cannot stop. Just imagine now you have an elderly person and you're going to drop off that elderly person by Royal to go down to. You're going to drop off a grade 1 student by Royal to go to Circleford campus. See how much road that child will have to cross before they reach school. Imagine the amount of things that can happen. Vehicle can bounce them down, plus abduction is taking place in this country.
They might enforce the park and the whole place full of patrol from stoplight, come on, peer patrol, boom, 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 lick out your front end. So all of the things that need to be addressed.
Everybody can hold in that park in a real life. Everything have to check. But you know, downtown, if you check about downtown, you have to clean up downtown. Because down at the market area, this alone, it can't work. Yeah? We have one park downtown, it can't be used, it can't be accessed by White House taxi operators. Because me have a smart vehicle. Because you know, say, nobody now go over there. Nobody now go over there. So what we need to do?
The taxi operators took to the streets of the parish as early as 6 a.m. and blocked sections of the White House to Savannah Lamar Main Road, demanding that the police and the Transport Authority roll back the order until Sunday, when they will meet with the relevant authorities at the Godfrey Stewart High School in order to reach an amicable solution.
At this moment, what they do, they really cut we from going down the town. That passenger have to pay 2 fares. You understand me? In a just local Savlamar town. It don't relevant, brother. You understand me? Because based on what they are doing, they cut me from going downtown, then reducing our stop. They might reduce our stop. And then still people upon their route and they might take with their vehicle, brother. And we have to pay 20,000 for the ticket, record fees another 25,000, 6,000 for the first day of vehicle pound and $1,000 for the rest of the days then. So when you check it out, brother, this whole entire thing had too much politics in it, so we want the relevant authority to come and address it, because if we don't address it today, tomorrow it's going to be different.
My name is Rolando Robinson, a present operator of the route White House to Sablamar. And I think the reason why my colleagues are here doing this morning we try to be a peaceful demonstration. We went to Sablamar Bus Transport Center. We did not get nothing which we were looking for. We get no justice, right? The Transport Authority, the police, the parish councils decided to have a meeting on Sunday. So we think they should roll back what they have in place now until that meeting is kept, right? They still decide we're not to go downtown, so we still are under the pressure. You understand? So this is why my colleagues take it to the street. Because if they plan to have a meeting on Sunday, I think they should roll back the plan they have in place now until that meeting takes place. You know, I'm really sorry for those who inconvenient of going to work or coming from work, you know, but it is what it is.
They also marched to the Transport Authority's office, demanding that they be allowed to pick up and drop off passengers along sections of Great George's Street. They were addressed by Deputy Superintendent of Police Adrian Hamilton, who pleaded with them to just have patience until after the meeting on Sunday, where he is expecting them to come to some form of agreement. Now, the Public Order Reset is a new system recently implemented by the Westmoreland Police, the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation, and the Transport Authority to rid the township of Savannah Lamar of illegal parking and vending. As we continue with the news tonight, Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the government is taking strategic steps to undertake road repairs across Jamaica. He was speaking during yesterday's contract signing ceremony at Jamaica House for Phase 3 of the Fairfield 2-Point Road Rehabilitation Project in St. James.
With the budget that we have to be very strategic with it. So the first strategy employed is to build roads that carry the heaviest volumes of traffic. So if you look right across Jamaica, you will see significant investments in major thoroughfares that are now currently carrying high volumes or designed to carry high volumes to reduce traffic and increase your mobility and connectivity. It doesn't mean that we do this to the exclusion of your local subsidiary and secondary roads. No. We do make allocations to treat with local roads, secondary roads. That comes through the parish councils and budgets through the NWA, which I mentioned, that $4.5 billion. And so in almost every constituency across Jamaica, local roads are being repaired.
Now, this phase covers 1.8 kilometers of roadway from Friendship to Hurlock, for which the contract, valued at $163.5 million, was signed. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has noted that the increasing incidence of demonstrations against poor road conditions has not escaped his attention, but is urging Jamaicans to be patient as the budgetary resources are not in place to carry out widespread repairs at this time.
And I understand when you are moved to the point of a demonstration, where you feel that there is no other way to get the attention of the government, the attention of your representative. And sometimes it boils over into real anger. And I want to tell you that I understand and I appreciate. It is not that we don't know. It is not that we are unaware or we don't see. But I go back to where I started. We simply do not have the budget to fix all the roads all at once. What this government, your government, has been doing above everything else, and for which we cannot be in any way reasonably criticized on, is to improve our wherewithal by improving and increasing our fiscal capacity. To put it in layman's terms, we are managing the economy, growing the economy, increasing our revenue collections, protecting our revenue, so that we have more resources to deal with your roads. Now,
in a plea to the country, the Prime Minister stressed that the administration was not ignoring the cries of the people who vented their anger about the deteriorating roadways.
So I want the country to appreciate, and I've been noticing that there is an increase in the number of demonstrations and protests. It's a part of our democracy. I appreciate it. I pay attention to every one of them. Behind the scenes, whenever I see one, I say, Minister Warmington, what's the situation? How fast can we move to resolve it? I don't want my Jamaican brothers and sisters to feel that they are out there in rural parts of the country and government doesn't pay attention to them. That's why we're here this morning, because as I speak, I know that there is a demonstration along this corridor that we are speaking of. In St. James. Minister Bartlett will tell you that this has been on Cabinet's agenda of discussion at least 4 times as to how we can treat with this matter. So we have made allocations. We've done it in 3 phases because we couldn't do it at once. If we did it at once, it would cost probably about $1.5 billion to do that 19 kilometers of roadway. So that means several other communities in Jamaica could not be attended to. So we had to do it in small pieces. Today we are doing $167 million for 1.6 kilometers of road. But this is not just asphalt. I want to emphasize that. We have to build the road according to its use. We know that along that corridor, there are several quarrying activities that take place, several heavy trucks that use the area. We also know that the road as built has no drainage, and so a part of the deterioration of the surface is that the entire road becomes a gully course for water.
Other participants in yesterday's signing ceremony included Minister of Tourism and Member of Parliament for East Central St. James, Edmund Bartlett. The St. James East MP said that the contract to repair the roads has been signed and pledged that work would get underway soon.
The program of developing and maintaining the arterial roadways in St. James is very critical. And I know that very much at the top of your considerations for the future must be that very corridor in its entirety. We started, I think, from 2002, if I recall, that project, and it has reached to friendship, but it has a little way to go to get to point. And I think that rains have not helped, but long moments of not full recognition of the need to do, or the capacity to do, or the resources to do, have not helped the situation. And then there's the other corridor from Barnet to Dumfries, which is the two critical corridors in the parish in terms of where the connections are to the other parishes, Trelawney in the case of Barnet to Hamden, and of course St. Elizabeth in the case of this one, Fairfield to Point. So I'm looking forward to full attention being given to those key corridors, and hopefully to avoid some of the difficulties that we've endured over the last few weeks, months, years.
The project is a partnership between the Tourism Enhancement Fund, TEF, and the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, and is facilitated through the National Works Agency, NWA. Repairs to the Fairfield to Point roads in St. James will cost the government $167 million. Still making Mello TV news, Jamaica recorded another case of monkeypox this week. The Ministry of Health and Wellness released an update on Sunday, disclosing that an additional case of monkeypox had been confirmed on the island. This now increases the number of confirmed cases on the island to 15 so far. 40 tests have been conducted. The confirmed case is a male in the 16 to 52 age range in the Kingston and St. Andrew region. It is the 8th confirmed case of monkeypox in the Kingston and St. Andrew area. This is one of 5 parishes that has recorded a confirmed case, with the other parishes being Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, and St. James. Of the 15 confirmed cases, 12 have recovered, while 2 cases remain active. The death of 1 positive case is currently under investigation. Now, the Ministry of Health and Wellness is reminding Jamaicans that symptoms of monkeypox include fever, chills, headaches, muscle aches, rashes, and swollen lymph nodes. Persons experiencing any of these symptoms are being urged to self-isolate and contact their doctor. A request from the police for a man to stop for a search while he was walking in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew yesterday evening turned into a shooting incident that left 2 women injured and the man in custody. The women were shot on North Odeon Avenue in the busy district sometime after 7 p.m. Reports from the police coming into our news center are that they saw the man who is now in custody and requested a search. However, the man ran and allegedly pulled a gun and opened fire at them instead. The women who were bystanders were shot in the incident. The police gave chase and apprehended the man whose identity they have not yet released. The women were taken to hospital. We will bring you more on this story in subsequent newscasts. Still making the news tonight, 2 men traveling on a motorcycle fatally shot a male windshield wiper on Dunrobin Avenue at about 10:30 today. The shooting caused a major buildup of traffic on Constant Spring Road as the police detectives blocked off Dunrobin Avenue and processed the crime scene. The deceased has been identified as Morris Smith. The Jamaica Constabulary Forces Information Arm, the Corporate Communications Unit, confirmed that the shooting took place in the vicinity of the Total gas station at the intersection of Dunrobin Avenue and Constant Spring Road this morning. Police reports coming into our news center are that 2 men arrived on a motorcycle and one of them opened fire at the windshield wiper, hitting him multiple times. Smith was assisted to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Last night, the family and friends of social media influencer Anika Slickiana Townsend were overcome with sorrow as they mourned her death at a candlelight vigil held for her in New Kingston. Townsend, 35, was found dead in St. James on Friday. Townsend's decomposing body was retrieved from the sea in Reading in Montego Bay, St. James at about 9:30 a.m. last Friday. The police say that her body was discovered by persons who went to use the beach.
It's such a sad moment. I hope I don't get tearful. I knew Anika personally, and she's such a bubbly person. Anybody who says they have a thing with Anika, if you and I have something, she just dismiss it. Never in confrontation, and for someone to hurt her like that, it really hurt me. She didn't deserve it, regardless of what people are saying. No one deserves this. No one.
I mean, what do you make? The gentleman that just killed her, do you think he's maybe the culprit?
I don't know, but I know God will find that person.
I saw there's some negative things too. There's a voice that came out.
Yes.
How do you feel about that voice?
That disgusts me because the person who said that, no one, despite of what your work job is or how you live your life, no one deserves that. No one. The man is saying his father died, and no one, because no one loves your father. People love Anika, so everyone is going to cheer for her, and you know, I don't understand it, but God is in the midst of everything, and I know they're going to find out what really happened to her.
The senior officer at the center of the sexual harassment allegations at the Jamaica Defense Force, JDF, is being recalled from training overseas. The JDF, in a statement issued today, says this is to enable further investigations and the appropriate disciplinary proceedings. The allegations that emerged suggest some 16 cases of sexual harassment involving the senior officer. Allegations are that several complainants have made reports about rape and other sexual offenses. The JDF said today that throughout this process, it remains keen on protecting the complainant's confidentiality to reduce any opportunity for victimization or legal mismanagement of the investigation. Chief of Defense Staff of the JDF, Rear Admiral Antoinette Weems-Gorman, says the situation involving multiple reports against the accused is an indication that service members recognize that the JDF is serious about any breach against the sexual harassment policy.
Since assuming office in January 2022, I've been strident in my stance against any act of sexual harassment involving any service member within the JDF, regardless of their rank or gender. The sexual harassment prevention policy was crafted during my tenure as Force Executive Officer in 2018. The current situation, involving multiple reports against the accused, is an indication that service members recognize that I am serious about any breaches against the sexual harassment prevention or any other policy. I can also confirm that based on the reports from the complainants, the senior officer at the Center of the Sexual Harassment Allegations is being recalled from training overseas to enable further investigation and the appropriate disciplinary proceedings. The complainants will be treated with respect, the information will remain confidential, and opportunities to victimize or mismanage the information will not be tolerated. I'm urging anyone that has information about this case or any other breach against any service member or JDF policy to come forward. The process only works efficiently with formal reports. Persons can call the Inspector General at 876-836-2158 or email the Inspector General at inspectorgeneral@jdf.mil.jm.
The Chief of Defense Staff says she is encouraging any service member or civilian that has information regarding this investigation or any other breach of the sexual harassment policy or any other policy to come forward and make a formal report. Reports can be made to the Inspector General Department, HQ, JDF, at 876-836-2158 or via email at inspectorgeneral@jdf.mil.jm. And those are the stories making news. I am Shelley Hill. Do stay safe, pleasant viewing, and thanks for watching.